this is Torrie. Well, we're going to be travelling today. Do something a bit different. You're not going to see me, which is probably a good thing. I've packed the car, as you can see. It's got the telephone table, and this is what it's all about, this particular story. I've got some baskets in there. I'm doing some serious downsizing, and my daughter requested, well, she didn't request, she requested something else. And I said, yep, I would do it. So just to start off with, this is me travelling, going to the last stretch of the travel down to the Cape Jervis terminal, and I'm about to get onto a ferry and go over to Kangaroo Island, and we're going to get off at Pennashaw. Yeah, I tend to do my best thinking when I'm in the car. I even talk out loud. I'll go through scenarios. But on this particular trip, because I'm taking this telephone table that I've actually had ownership since my first marriage, 47 years I've actually had this telephone table for, and it all started because my daughter asked me if she could have something else that I had up in my attic. And then we talked about what she wanted it for, and I sort of said, oh, look, do you want the telephone table? And of course she sort of said, Mum, but don't you want that? And that, are you sure? I mean, you've had it forever, but yes, I'll take that. Well, I can tell you, I kept on thinking to myself, why did I say yes? Why did I offer it? And I guess the realistic side of it is I didn't even know why. I know I'm in a bit of a downsizing mood. So as I wait to get onto the ferry and go and grab my cup of coffee that I always buy when I'm on the ferry, I definitely can tell you it's been a whole thinking process of why I gave her up. One of my, I guess the kids would have inherited it along the way anyway. But yeah, have you had that? Have you given things away? Or what has it been like when you're knowing that when I get on this ferry, you can see I'm loading up now, that this item is going to be out of my control? And I guess that's part of it. One part of it is you need to say yes when the kids go, yeah, Mum, I'll have that, or whoever, I'll take that off you, but also to understand that you're not going to have control anymore. Yeah, not going to have control. There is a internet article, if you ever want to read it, was about why your kids don't want your stuff. And it's a different generation years ago about why they don't want your stuff. And that's because, hand-me-downs years ago, our parents or our parents' parents, it was one of the only ways to, get a household started. And I can tell you, I started with that. Second-hand fridge, second-hand lounge, second-hand TV. My bed was a mattress on the floor. We were newlyweds. I wasn't even 19 by then. And we just started off with the bare basics, and over time that we accumulated. And that telephone table was a wedding present from my husband's great aunt. We got it a few months after we got married, and we actually had our wedding photos at her property. So it has sort of a lot of mixed memories, and I'm going to be handing it over. But now is probably a good time to hand it over. I'm trying to justify why I made this decision now. Sometimes you can let things go really easily, and then there are other times where you'll say, yes with your mind. And I was quite happy to put it in the car and quite happy to know that it's going to be going off to the family, and they're willing to have it. How do you get around this? Have you got items that you know that you want to hand down? I've got other things that I'm going to hand down to my kids or my grandkids, and I've got them in boxes up in my attic for each one of them, and the things that they're getting, not much, because kids live differently today and they don't want your stuff. Mind you, my grandchildren said, we want some of your stuff, Gaga, and I've sort of said, okay, what you can do is put coloured dots on the things that you want, so that when I downsize, you can have it. But in the meantime, my daughter said that she's going to take this item now. Well, I offered it now, and that's okay. There's a lot of thinking involved when you're parting with family stuff. You're either parting it with family stuff because you're willing to do it now, or you're parting with family stuff when you having to make the decision to downsize, and they may not be ready to take on those extra things, and so they might say no now and regret that they said no. And then when the time comes when you pass and you're no longer here, then it's a family discussion about yes, no, maybe. My girlfriend says that when she passes away, she knows that her kids are just going to dump everything that she's accumulated over time. It's a tough decision. I have to say, I'm okay with it. And when, as I'm doing this drive and doing the thinking about I need to be okay in myself, I can't have those heart pangs. Yeah, you just can't have those heart pangs, and I'm very grateful that this trip takes a couple of hours to do. It's long enough for thinking, but not too long that I'll end up analysing and go through yes, no. Part of it's too late now, I'm already on my way. But I hope, even though I know what she said was, we're going to paint it, is that okay, Mum? And I went, yeah, sure. I've had it exactly the same for 47 years. Sure. I can tell you. But when I hand it over, it's no longer part of my memories anymore. That telephone table has been a dressing table or hall table. I think it was built, it's hand built, 1930s, 1940s. The great aunt was actually a spinster, so she would have had it done specially for her. Who did it? I have no idea. So, and stories. I wish it had a story with it, and that's what I've done with things that I've put up in the attic for my children and grandchildren, whatever I've given them, which won't be very much. I'm writing a story that's going to go with it. But this item, it's going, and it will go to their home, and I'll do it. I'll give it with love. How are you with handing over things and then knowing that over time it may change? They might repurpose it for a lot of other, have a different usage for it. Oh gosh. A lot of thinking, guys. A lot of thinking. Well, we've come to Pennashaw. I've only got 45 minutes to go now. They're on the other side of the island. Hope you enjoyed the road trip. A little bit more to go. This is Life Over Coffee. This is Torrie. Stuck in the head with memories. Catch you next time. Thanks for watching Life Over Coffee with Torrie. Don't forget you can subscribe or leave a comment. I'll get back with you next week.